Morgan Community College is a place to imagine, believe, and achieve. When MCC first started, it was no more than a small storefront college struggling to keep its doors open. Today, 40 years later, MCC has 4 satellite campuses and over 1,000 full-time students. In July 1964, the president of Fort Morgan Chamber of Commerce, Russell Katzenbarger, appointed a committee to discuss the possibility of starting a community college in Morgan County.
MCC was basically a dream.
The college was started basically by just some concerned citizens of our community. They wanted to have a college here because they could see there was a need.
The idea was just that it would be good, a good thing. Those men met once a week for about 3 years until the plans were laid.
After 3 years of planning, the committee brought their proposal to the State Board of Education, where it was denied not once, but twice.
Unfortunate part was that the Commission on Higher Education didn't want us.
And so part of it was location. I think the other part of it was what it's always been, funding.
Senate Majority Leader Ted Gill and State Representative Doc Lamb eventually led the fight for establishment of a college district. They authorized Bill 405, which allowed residents of Morgan County and Woodland school districts to vote on forming a junior college.
And we finally decided not to join the state system, just to try to make it on our own.
Once the bill was signed, committee members began to prepare for the vote. They implemented 32 days of mass publicity in the newspapers, on the radios, and speaking to every major organization in the county. When the election came, the majority was more than 2-1 in favor of forming a college. However, the struggle wasn't over. Woodland resident Charles L. Jolly filed a lawsuit seeking the court's action to declare unconstitutional the law allowing the August 1st election.
He felt that it was taxation without representation.
The district court judge found in favor of Jolly. However, the Colorado State Supreme Court reversed the ruling and declared that the election of August 1st was indeed constitutional. Jolly took the fight all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, where they declined to hear his appeal. A governing board was immediately established for a new college, and they began preparing a budget and advertising for a president. Without students, staff, or buildings, the college started with a mere $40,000 startup budget.
It's just an amazing thing of all the hurdles that this school went through in order to even open the first door.
There was no campus, no faculty. It was just kind of a desire to help develop a community college.
In November of 1969, Dr. Robert Johnson of Iowa became the first president of the college, which at that time was called Morgan County Community College.
The first president, Dr. Robert Johnson, was passionate about adult education.
In December of that year, the Farmers State Bank of Fort Morgan donated the building on 300 Main Street. On February 15th of 1970, the first adult basic education class was held in Morgan County Community College. The college was known as a storefront college because its classes were held in any available rooms in multiple buildings all over the county.
Dr. Robert Johnson, and his first office was in Brush, and he had a card table and a chair.
And when we began in storefronts all over town. I mean, we truly were the meaning, I think, of the word community college.
Everyone was making do with partitions and furniture to separate students into different classes.
And I worked in the vault and was the key punch operator, and that was my work-study job.
Some of the classes the small college offered were basic education classes, work incentive programs, and nurse's aid. MCC's first commencement ceremony was in 1972 and included students graduating with both certificates and Associate of Arts degrees. In 1973, the small college decided to enter into the state system, and the name was changed to Morgan Community College. However, the college's struggle was far from over. In 1976, the integrity of the institution was questioned by the state board.
But they actually did lock the doors to Blodorn,
The charge was that MCC had padded enrollment,
that we weren't keeping accurate records.
and we trusted each other enough to know that there had to be some mistake.
By that time, the community was pretty much behind us.
Was an attempt by the state board to close this institution.
When it all fell out, the books were the best.
Once we had proven to them that we probably had the most accurate FTE count in the state, and that was in no way did we misappropriate any funds, what limited funds we had. That whole scenario played out in which Dr. Johnson resigned.
In February of 1977, Dr. Robert Dattery became the second president of MCC. One of Dattery's primary goals was to build a permanent campus for the college.
It was critical for the establishment of an institution, not only physically, but in the minds of rural people.
Students needed an identity, as well as the faculty and staff.
One of the issues that the college faced was the fact that there were always individuals and groups who were trying to close the institution. And without a permanent campus, it would have been very easy to close this institution.
The groundbreaking ceremony for the permanent campus was held on August 26th of 1978.
Well, we brought out a flatbed gooseneck trailer. We had put together some shovels and painted them with gold paint.
I was there holding a shovel on groundbreaking day. That day was incredibly exciting for all of us.
We felt like we were going to be a permanent place.
That was exciting because, again, we had been so spread out all over town.
And it was a tremendous day.
It was a wonderful day.